Good morning and welcome back to part 4 of the alcohol addiction video series. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at module 2 of the Awesome Without Alcohol program. So in this section of the program, we will be having a look at some of the underlying reasons for your drinking. So addictions are generally or often a result of some form of abuse or trauma. By this stage in the program, you will have already stopped drinking and we will have gotten you through withdrawal, which is absolutely fantastic. But what we need to do is look at addressing the reasons why you were drinking in the first place. Both what started you drinking and what keeps you drinking. Because if we don't address these things, then there is a high chance that those issues will reoccur and you will relapse, and we don't want that. So if we look at your reasons for drinking and tackle them, if we help you to accept them and heal from them and move on from them, then we are taking away the power of those reasons. We're taking away their power to have you drinking. Now, there are a multitude of reasons why people start drinking. So many. A few of those things include perhaps being abandoned as a baby, or being put into care at a young age. It could be coping with the loss of losing custody of your own children. If your drinking has become such a problem that your relationship has broken down and you maybe don't have custody of them anymore. It could be because you are grieving. It could be due to bereavement, the loss of a parent or a partner or a family member that you are really close to, or a best friend, somebody whose death has really impacted you and you are struggling to cope without them. It could be feelings of chronic loneliness. And this doesn't mean that you are on your own all of the time. When you suffer with really bad levels of loneliness, you could be in a room filled with 100 people and still feel lonely. So loneliness and being alone are very different things. You're perhaps coping with PTSD or flashbacks or stress or anxiety or panic attacks. Perhaps you have a history of childhood violence, whether that's towards yourself or witnessing it occurring to somebody else. Perhaps there is abuse in your past. These are all equally valid reasons to both drink, but also to get help. These are very common reasons why people turn to alcohol, to self-medicate, to self-soothe, to try and take away the physical pain, the emotional pain, the mental pain of any of these things. And that's totally understandable. But what we can do is use hypnotherapy to help you tackle those things. Now, you may have heard me discussing it before, but the difference between hypnotherapy to deal with these issues and, say, going to counselling or another form of talk therapy is that in standard psychotherapy sessions or counselling sessions, you are having to try and deal with the situation and the associated feelings consciously. Because it's your conscious mind that talks about things, that is responsible for logical thinking and reasoning and planning and analysing and things like that. So it's your conscious mind that's listening to me at the moment. However, when you talk about things from your past, you will notice, even when you think about things from your past, you will notice that very quickly you will probably start to physically feel the emotions that you associate with that time in your life. And for most people, that's too uncomfortable. It's too difficult. It's too scary. It's not something that they feel able to cope with. It's not something they feel they can tackle. So all of those unprocessed memories get suppressed and not processed. Using hypnotherapy, what we can do is help you to temporarily, for the period of the session, dissociate. So basically we can help you disconnect from your emotions. So it's almost as if you are watching yourself on a big screen, or you're watching somebody else, and you can witness those things that happened. You can hear the things that were said. You can see everything, but you're not feeling it. Those intense, uncomfortable emotions are not resurfacing. And what that allows you to do is make decisions based on facts, based on what actually happened, rather than based on the reaction created by your emotions. So you can look at a scenario and decide how you want to progress from there. And it can be done in a very safe mental space. And it doesn't have to be highly traumatic. It doesn't have to be too difficult. It can be dealt with and you can start to heal from it. Because what you're doing when you examine that scenario, when you hold that emotion up to the light of day, you can make a decision on questions such as, is this memory or is this emotion serving me any positive purpose in my life right now? Do I feel able and ready to let it go? And if you do, and if you are ready, then it is as simple as making that decision. That decision will help you to start processing what happened. There is a lot more to it, but I don't want to get too technical and too complicated with you. That's just one of the very first steps in helping somebody to overcome past trauma. So what I'm saying is there is a difference between other therapies and hypnotherapy. And hypnotherapy is a more gentle approach, it's a more holistic approach, and it's a more effective approach. So that's why we do things in the way we do. So we get you off the alcohol, we get you through withdrawal, and we start to tackle the reasons why you were drinking. Because once we've done that and we've eradicated your reasons for drinking, then we have absolutely reduced your chances of relapsing. And from there, we can start to look to rebuilding your future. And that's what we'll be discussing tomorrow in the final part of the series. So take care, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.